See you later. And thank you, Sarah, for hosting this. And I can see, actually, I'm only talking for Arsu and Alina and Cipriana, right? Because you are curious about the program. And I actually already know two of you, Alina and Cipriana. Nice to see you back. Let me see if I can turn on my video. Okay. Hi, it's a little bit more personal. Can you see me now? Feel free to just speak.
Yep.
Hey, okay. And yeah, we only have 15 minutes. Now I think only 11. So yeah, we will first give you a general introduction, and then there are three students here can share their experience with you. And since there are only, I think, three of you curious about the module, so we will have enough time to interact, even though only 11 minutes. So dive into it. We will have the content of geography, politics, and history of China to start with, to provide you with the foundation of understanding China. And based on that, you will have a better sense of the Chinese business culture, and we will also spend some time on that, how to negotiate, how to give face, how to receive gifts. So those are a little bit superficial, probably you touch upon in the CCA in the first year, but without knowing geography, politics, and history, probably it's harder to understand why. It's very easy to copy the how, but it's very hard to understand why they behave in certain way. And on top of those, we also typically have guest lectures. For example, for this semester, we have guest lectures talk about culture, education, and economics. But it's based on different cohorts, what you are interested in. We will contact different guest lecturers or develop new content, especially for that specific group. So yeah, if you are interested in, say, Kung Fu or some other things, yeah, we can tailor your needs for your semester. I have three books to recommend to you. These once we used as a textbook for the module, but not anymore. Understanding Contemporary China. And here we have a negative view, Death by China. It's written by an American director talking about how China stole jobs from America. And here is more on the positive end, When China Rules the World, written by a British communist, and to explain how to understand China and how China will probably proactively or reactively impact the global market. And I also have some YouTube clips, but that's not, I will give you the full context when you start with the course, what kind of support you will get. If we have the luxury to be able to teach in classroom, this is the setting we will have. 40% of the exam based on the content, so geography, politics, and history, business culture, and those guest lectures. And a group project you will do together with 3 or 4 of your peers. And the China challenge is more for your personal development. So if you want to learn Mandarin, if you want to learn Kung Fu, if you want to do research on a specific part of, say, 5G, Huawei, or if you are curious about the Uyghurs, so how Muslims are living in China, those are sensitive topics, but if you are curious about those, feel free to research on those, and that will be your China challenge. So 40% exam, 40% group project, and 20% China challenge. And if we continue to do this online, the setting will be slightly different. we will have 3 essays on different topics. Essay 1 on modern China, essay 2 opportunities, essay 3 on challenges. So overall, it's all about you. So if you, majority of you study international business, probably a future entrepreneur, what kind of opportunities do you see as a future entrepreneur, and challenges do you see as a future entrepreneur? And also reflect upon how modern China become how China it is right now, not a very, very poor country 50 years ago, and not a typical communist country as one was taught or have imagined. And to have a taste of how the essay should be, we have a assignment a few weeks before the essay, so it's easier to give you some feedback before you writing the actual essay. So that's a COVID-19 settings. So the 3 essays, we will keep this setting, but the content of the topics might change. And if we are in classroom, this is a schedule, a typical one: introduction, geography, politics, history, guests, and then the highlight of the in-class schedule is the group dinner at the Fulu restaurant in the city center. And we share what we find out, what we created with the group assignment, and we share what we learned from the China challenges. And in the end, an exam. And if we continue with the COVID-19 schedule, then it will be similar content delivery, but you will, instead of sharing your results of group and personal projects, you will share your results of your essays. That's what the current students will do for this week. And of course, there will be no exam if we do this online. Okay, so I managed to cover the basics within 6 minutes. We still have 5 minutes, so any questions? Let me see. Arsu, Alina, Cipriana, and Arlene. Do you have any questions? What do you want to know?
At the moment, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so yeah, I'll see you in class.
There also seems to be no questions in the chat, so I guess your presentation was conclusive.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. I do have a few questions for my colleagues here today. So I do have 3 students together with me, Rocky, Sanada, and Ling. I'm curious, what made you to sign up for this module? Why did you sign up for OCMC last semester?
Could I start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so for me, it basically was the fact that the Chinese culture is such like a different one to ours, like the Western, I guess. So it made me like trigger my interest, and during like through this honors, I could explore that more and know more, get to know more about it. And I guess also if you want to do business in China, it's great.
Okay, and after taking this course, did the content meet your expectations?
Yes, of course it was different because of this setting, but I think it didn't like mess with the stuff I want to learn, or like, yeah, I didn't feel like I got like anything short in terms of education.